This video has been created by the Office for Dispute Resolution to assist LEAs in completing the required resolution meeting data form. When a parent requests a due process hearing, the Individual with Disabilities Education Act requires the parent and local education agency participate in a resolution meeting. The only exception to this rule is when both parties agree in writing to waive the meeting, or both parties have agreed to use mediation in lieu of the resolution meeting. Regardless of which option is chosen by the parties, the local education agency must complete and submit the resolution meeting data form. The information is used by the Office for Dispute Resolution for federally mandated statistical reporting. The hearing officer also uses the form for timeline purposes, and the information is provided to the Bureau of Special Education. The resolution meeting data form is completed via electronic submission. A link to the form, along with the case file number and password, are sent to the LEA contact in the initial email from the Office for Dispute Resolution. Please do not attempt to complete the form unless the resolution requirement has been completed or the time to complete the requirement has expired. We will now walk you through completing the form. First, select the link Online Submission. You are now on the Case Lookup page. This is where you will enter the case file number and password provided to you to access the form. The password must be the exact password generated in the initial email. It is recommended to avoid error that you copy and paste the file number and password from the email provided to you. Once the information has been entered, the system will take you to the General Information page. In this section, you will be asked for information to determine the timelines. Start by entering the date you received the due process complaint. This should be the same receipt date you communicated to the hearing officer. Next, you will need to calculate the 15 and 30-day resolution periods. These dates should be calculated using calendar days. They should be counted regardless of holidays, closures, and breaks. In Section 2, you will provide information about the meeting process. First, we will complete the form when a meeting has been held and view the possible options. Once you select Meeting Held Yes, you will be asked to provide the date of the meeting. If the meeting was not held within 15 days from the date you stated the complaint was received, the system will acknowledge this and ask that you provide information as to why the meeting could not be held within the 15 days. Next, you will give details about the meeting. Please note, if a no response is selected for any of the questions in this section, the system will automatically provide a text box to allow for explanation. The last section will gather information on the result of the meeting. You may choose one of 6 options for the result of the resolution meeting. In the final section, you will be given the opportunity to add comments. This box should be used for any additional details you wish to share or information you feel was not covered in the previous questions. At any time, you will have the option to save the information and exit the form for completion at a later time. Once you submit the form, ODR will be notified of the submission, and the form will no longer be modifiable. Now we will complete the form when a meeting has not been held. Once no has been selected, you will be given the option to provide further details of why the meeting was not held. You may only choose one answer from the category and will be asked to provide the date that the action occurred. If the parties have waived the meeting, you will also need to attach documentation. Again, in the final section, you will be given the opportunity to add comments. The bottom of the form will request the name and contact information of the person completing the form. Once all necessary fields have been entered, a green button will appear, allowing you to submit the form. Once the form is completed, a copy will be automatically emailed to the Office for Dispute Resolution, the assigned hearing officer, and both parties. This concludes the instructions for completing the resolution meeting data form. For any questions or complications you experience while completing the form, please contact Karen Eberly at the Office for Dispute Resolution.